this infrastructure thing just keeps getting better. So we had Biden. He put it forward with his bipartisan plan, but don't worry, we're only gonna have the bipartisan one, which is if we also get the reconciliation one, which is good. Or will we? Because he backtracked a couple days after on that. And now that bipartisan one is so much worse than we thought. Well, why? Why is it worse? I mean, we know it's bad. It's worse because everything in it isn't just inadequate, but it's also the last word on those things. And apparently this has been out there. He sort of hinted at this, but it didn't really get a lot of pickup. And so Politico, which it's Politico or whatever, to their credit, they're pointing this out because I think we need to talk about it if we're gonna put pressure on him. Here's the issue. At his press conference celebrating the bipartisan infrastructure deal, Biden suggested that there would be no coming back for seconds in the reconciliation bill. There will be a reconciliation bill, but not direct seconds. What do they mean by that? When it comes to spending on basic physical infrastructure for roads, bridges, public transportation, the bipartisan deal is it. There will be no using the parallel Democrats only reconciliation package to spend more on those things that Republicans agreed to. Instead, Biden indicated the reconciliation bill is exclusively for stuff the Democrats want but Republicans oppose, like spending for family care, climate change, and healthcare. So how does this work out in practice? Well, Biden wanted, for instance, $157 billion for electric vehicles. The bipartisan bill spends $15 billion, less than 10%. He wanted $100 billion for broadband. He secured 65, much better ratio there. I guess everybody likes the internet, but screw EVs. Anyway, from the White House's perspective, these issues are now resolved, and the reconciliation bill can't be used to take another crack at them. We checked with the White House, says Politico, and officials confirm that this interpretation is correct. And to that I say, what the F? First of all, what the F? Second of all, why? And third of all, I don't even trust you, okay? Now, I'm not saying I don't trust you in that I don't think that, sure, it won't be much better in the reconciliation bill. I have no expectations really anymore at all. But what he seems to be indicating is, if in theory, in the reconciliation bill, JR, they were to give an extra 20 billion, let's say, for EVs, what, would he veto it? What are you talking about? Oh, no, actually, you missed one bridge, and we really need to fund this bridge to get Manchin on. Nope, I veto no bridges in the reconciliation bill. What are you talking about, JR? Do you buy this?
Well, the point is to make sure, I think, first of all, I think the point is to make sure that the Republicans that now have pressured him into making sure that he's, I'm gonna separate these two bills. Before I said I'm gonna veto it if I don't get the other one, the reconciliation one coming through with it, they got upset with him and he vetoed it. He's still a little bit gun shy about the whole situation. So he wants to make sure, this is my theory, he wants to make sure that they're not gonna get mad at him if he says, okay, Democrats starting in the House, we're gonna have this reconciliation bill and you can have whatever you want in it. Because if they start adding more money to things that are probably needed that he fell short on in the compromise, maybe those Republicans, not maybe, those Republicans that were part of it are gonna go, wait, we had a deal. Now you're gonna go and go behind our backs and actually do something more for Americans in another bill? That was not the deal. The deal was for us to kneecap everything you were doing. And then you take a victory, but it's not really a victory. And we have a victory in reality while you have a victory in theory. That's the way things work in this town, right? And they're gonna be upset that he takes a backdoor way to make sure Americans get something else.
So I'm going back and forth, and I think you may have swayed me back to your position there because, okay, I think so initially, you can't put anything in the reconciliation bill because you said it would just be the bipartisan, even though we totally didn't say that and they knew for months or whatever.
Right.
But then I thought, but wait, the stuff that they're most mad about is the human infrastructure stuff. They don't want the climate change stuff. They don't want the elder care. Like physical infrastructure seems to be one of the few things that they maybe are okay with. So then wouldn't that just make the reconciliation bill more appealing to them? But then I thought, well, okay, they kind of like that stuff, but they also definitely don't want to spend any money. And if adding that stuff in would demand higher tax increases or something like that, then they're definitely not gonna be in favor of it. So I think I may be back with you.
They don't really care about real, like what we call real infrastructure. There's human infrastructure, and then there's like solid
the way they define it.
Infrastructure, right? Yeah, so the infrastructure there, like more theories, but the things I'm getting these theories from is the fact that the way they've been acting this whole time, they don't actually really care about hardcore infrastructure either. They know that that's extraordinarily popular. So while they're seeing as this obstructions party, which they've been so far on everything, they go, we need something where we say we're on board with, so people can get off our backs, and Joe Manchin can go back to acting like he cares about his Democratic supporters. So in this case, they just need this guise. They need it to look a certain way, and this is the easiest one for them to look a certain way. So if you start adding more money to it, they're like, wait a second, we didn't really mean we wanted hardcore physical infrastructure. We didn't want that. We just wanted to give some to it so you guys can get off our backs.
Yeah. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.